now.
One question. I have one question.
Yeah.
So what if we are asked, we are given that x, y are negative integers, like we are asked for non-negative solutions, then how will we create the dummy?
Let's focus on
Like
something
we
which is
create
there on the slide for now. Let's not go into hypothetical cases, at least for now. Else we'll be only able to complete 4 or 5 slides. So let me at least complete the entire topic, and then if you have any question, you can always text me and then we can discuss. But because there are many participants here, let's at least try to complete the flow. So at least I hope this slide is clear, that this particular question, how do you need to solve, is something you have known by now, right? Okay. So if you have learned this thing, let's at least move one step ahead and let's try to solve this thing, this particular question now. I think यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा catch है, which I should have told you starting when I was talking about the formula. The answer to this question is 75. But yes, if you just blindly put that formula, the answer comes out as 89. See, maybe what I'll do is I'll just solve this and then I'll tell you that catch which you can write in your table. And so that if you're directly applying this particular formula, this is the catch you need to remember. So the formula here was, you need to take S divided by LCM of 3, 5, which is 15. And then you just do a -1 should be equals to 4, right? So greatest integer of S by 15 should be equals to 5, which means correct. So agreed. Matlab, I know it's slightly harder to explain, but then try to stay with me. And the same question I also try to solve by a subjective method, which usually is something I do because it is harder to remember the formulas. But then again, it's for those students who are more like, ठीक है, so formula बता दो, and I'll probably solve the question within minutes. ठीक है? So agreed. यहाँ से someone can say कि S should be equals to 15 into 5, which is 75, or someone can say कि sir S has to be 15 into 6 minus 1, which is 89. Okay, so let us go back to that slide. Correct. So see guys, यहाँ पे this was the slide, right? So यहाँ पे when you're talking about at least this quadrant now, you don't really see, because you are already deriving this formula after ensuring the condition that you have to find the maximum value of k. So बाद में जब तुम finally when you're solving it, you don't have to play with this greatest integer function. So what I'm trying to say here is just try to note it down, and then your doubts will be solved within, I think, 1 minute when I'm trying to explain the harder way. So what I'm doing is this thing that you're doing here, right? That what you're trying to do is 15 into 6 minus 1. You don't have to do it in the final formula. Why? Because this thing is already incorporated here when I'm saying that this is -1. Right? So when I gave you that formula had already considered this thing that you have to find the maximum value of k. So it has already, like, substituted this minimum value of x and y, which was 3 and 5 in the particular formula, and the final formula that was given to you here, you just have to multiply this, that which is S should be equals to 15 into 5 should be equals to 75. Like, you do not have to apply this condition of greatest integer function to find the maximum value of x, because that is already considered when I'm deriving this particular formula. Just a thing, if you're going by a method that you need to remember things, then this is something you will have to remember. Otherwise, let's just wait. Probably your doubt should also be clear, and this method is like more important because I agree it will be slightly difficult, it will be slightly cumbersome to remember all those conditions. So if someone is there who is more focused on concepts ki sir mujhe formula nahi yaad aata, then this is a method for you. Again, I'm just going by the very conventional method, and this is something that you should also apply to the minimum value, and then probably ping me if you have any doubts. So here you have to find the solution of this particular equation, and it is given that it has 4 positive integral solution, right? So what you will do is you will again form the table as we have done in the past. You just form this table x, y, and then here I assume let's assume that the minimum value of y, So what I'm saying is let the minimum value of y which satisfies this particular equation is q, and let the value of x which satisfies this equation is p, right? Again, this is an assumption that y is the minimum value of, because I know कि मुझे एक का minimum लेना है, and then I have to basically increase that in the coefficient of x, right? So what I'm assuming is I'm assuming कि let q be the minimum value of y that satisfies my equation, and let p be the, again, p has to be minimum, right? X has to be minimum if y is minimum. If y is minimum, x has to be maximum because s is a constant. So s is the maximum value of p. Now I know if the first solution is say p and q, the second solution has to be what? कितना होगा? This is the minimum value, right? So now this has to increase in a factor of 3. So this has to be a q plus 3, then a q plus 6, then q plus 9, and then a q plus 12. But I don't have to go till there. Why? Because it is given to me ki only 4 positive integral solutions, which means these are the only 4 positive integral solutions. Similarly, p has to be what? P minus 5, p minus 10, p minus 15, and then this is p minus 20. Please tell me this is clear. I have not done anything as of now. This is just the plain concept जो अभी हमने पहले पढ़ा था. Is this clear? ठीक है. So stay with me because this is interesting. When you see concepts being proved, you just like it, right? So just tell me, I'm saying that this is my solution, this is my solution, this is my solution, and this is my solution, right? So when I'm saying that q is the minimum value of y that satisfies this equation with the condition, right? So what I'm saying is I'm actually saying that q has to be positive, right? This is what I'm saying. And because I'm saying that q is the first or is the minimum value that satisfies this particular equation, इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? इसका meaning हुआ कि यार इसके पहले वाला equation क्या होगा? It has to be q minus 3 and this has to be p plus 5, right? If I just go by this trend, q के पहले वाला solution क्या होगा? q minus 3. And because I'm saying that q is the minimum possible value of y that satisfies my equation, which means q minus 3 should not satisfy my equation and only q should satisfy my equation, which means मेरी special condition क्या है? That they have to be a positive integral solution. So I'm saying that this q has to be positive because this is the minimum possible solution, and this thing इसके जो just पहले वाला है वो मेरा condition नहीं है. Why? Because this has to be negative. Is this clear to everyone? That q minus 3 has to be negative. Sorry, it has to be less than equals to 0, right? Because what I have to do, I have to say कि यार इसको मुझे अपना solution बनाना है. ये solution कब बनेगा? जब ये एक positive integer होगा. And इसके पहले वाला जो value है y का which satisfies this equation should not be satisfying my condition, which means q minus 3 should not be a positive integer, which means q minus 3 has to be less than equals to 0. So what I'm saying is I'm saying that q has to be less than 0 and q has to be less than equals to 3, or q has to be greater than equals to 1 or less than equals to 3. Is this clear to everyone कि मैंने q का range कैसे निकाला यहाँ पे? Everyone clear? Just don't ask me to repeat because it's else we'll not be able to finish. Everything is written here. Now I'm just applying the same concept in p as well. So what I'm doing is I'm saying that p minus 15 is the first solution, right? I'm saying कि p minus 15 तो मेरा solution है, but p minus 20 मेरा solution नहीं है, right? And I know कि p का value कम हो रहा है, तो p का value उतना कम हो रहा होगा कि यार p minus 15 must be becoming greater than 0 and p minus 20 must be becoming less than equals to 0. ऐसा ही हो रहा होगा तभी जाके this is considered and this is not considered. Right? So alternatively, what I'm saying is p has to be greater than 15 and p has to be less than equals to 20. Or what I can say is कि p का value must be between 16 to 19. This must be the range of p and q का range should be 1,3. And because I have to find the maximum value of s, it will be 3 into p, because 3 into x and x का maximum value कितना है? It is p, right? Guys, ये चीज तुमको समझ में आ रही नहीं आ रही? Please tell me. Okay, sorry. This has to be 20, right? Because p is less than equals to 20. So this has to be 20. So these are the 4 possible values of p: 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and q के 3 possible value है, which is 1, 2, 3. You just know these values now. All you have to do is S is nothing but 3p plus 4q. So you have to do maximum value of p, which is 20, and maximum value of y, which is 3. This is what you need to do, and the answer comes out to be 75. These are the two methods. Again, such questions I haven't seen in CAT, but then you would see such questions in your mocks, IMS, वगैरह. And these will be considered to be difficult questions, but then this is how you solve it. Just take a minute and try to absorb what I've done from both the methods. Agar mujhe direct formula lagana hai, you just remember that condition and then you'll be able to solve the question within a minute. It was S by 15 minus 1 should be equals to 4. Because मैंने already minus कर लिया, that is it. S is equals to 75. Or this is the alternative way to solve that question. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I'll have some water. Meanwhile, you can just see this. Yeah, Shantika, alternative way was easier to understand, but then it's good to remember the formula as well. And I think in the last 7-8 hours of our total studies, I think this is the first formula that you're remembering. So I think it's okay.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, shouldn't it be p minus 25 less than equals to 0 because p minus 20 is already okay. Fourth solution. Okay.
विशाल काफी नॉइस आ रहा है. p minus 25 क्यों आएगा? Because p minus 20 is not a solution, right? You only have 4 solutions. So p minus 5, p minus 10, p minus 15 is a solution. P minus 20 is not a solution. ठीक है? Okay. चलो. Let's. What I'll do is I will remove all of it. This was the alternative method. Now let's solve this question. And let the timer also start. All the answers given so far are correct. Pavan, done? Okay. Mohammed, Divya, इतना solve नहीं करना है. Done, right? Okay. Nandini, Rinta, Stuti, Anshika, Daksh, Chetna. Done? Correct answer is 0. Misbah, please tell us how to solve this question. Yeah.
Sir, I just applied the equation.
Okay.
Here we have S is equal to 1084 and we have to find the number of non-negative integral solution.
Okay.
So,
but there was some other condition as well to apply that formula, that at least one or both of these have to be a factor of k.
should be a factor. Yeah.
Right? Here, can you check it?
Yes.
Is 3 a factor of 1084?
3 is not a factor.
Is 6 a factor?
No, 6 is not a factor.
Correct. So you can't apply that, which means you just have to visualize the question and solve it. So this is a multiple of which number? 3x plus xy? Misbah?
3.
It's a multiple of 3, which means LHS is a multiple of 3. Let's check RHS. Is RHS a multiple of 3 or not?
No.
How do you check it? You just sum it, right?
Sum. Yeah.
Correct. A digital sum. It is 13. So 13 is not a multiple of 3, which means there has to be no solutions for this. Okay. Dexter, no, answer is not 3. So see, here the learning is like, I don't have many questions here, but the learning is, while we know the shortcuts, while we know the formula, we have to keep our mind open. Okay. First thing, always check कि LHS, is it a multiple of something? कुछ common आ रहा है क्या? That is the first step you should always check. If you're able to figure that out, अगर कुछ common है और अगर कुछ भी ऐसा लग रहा है कि HCF is not equals to 1, if there is something common coming out, always check कि is RHS a multiple of it or not. CAT में अगर इस type के questions आएंगे ना, I'm sure they will give you such type of questions which can be solved in 3 seconds, 4 seconds, but then which are tricky. If someone does not visualize it, they'll probably end up getting -1. Okay, so let's go to the next variation of special equation. Solve this question. Okay, guys, time is up. Answer is 30. No, answer is 15. Answer is not 30. Okay, Vishal, it's not 30. 29 भी नहीं है. Let's see. In the interest of time, मैं अभी directly solve कर रहा हूँ. I'm not asking someone to solve it. Once we just catch up with थोड़ा सा flow, then I'll ask you guys. So again, a very standard method. Whenever you see such questions, a very, very standard method. What you have to do is just simplify this. This is x plus y into 12 minus xy equals to 0, right? Or you can say x, yeah, this is 12x, right? And this is minus xy. So if you take 12x common, अंदर क्या बचेगा? 12 minus y. Now this is the trick. See, you have a factor of 12 minus y here, right? And you know the only term that is remaining is 12y. So let's write plus here. So what I'll do is, see, I will have to take this 12 minus y common so that I can simplify this in the form a into b is equals to something. So how do I do it? I will just write a factor of 12 minus 1 here, right? And I know I had to have a term of 12y. Okay? So what I'll do is, I know that there is one variable which is minus y. I must have a 12y factor here. So what I'll do is, I will just write minus 12 here. So that when this minus 12 multiplied by minus y, it gives me plus 2y. But if I do it, I've actually done minus 12 into 12 extra, which is minus 144 is extra. So I will just add 144 and then I'll say equals to 0. If you simplify this, you will actually get the same equation. So now I can actually take 12 minus y common and then x minus 12 plus 144 equals to 0. This is nothing but ये right hand side चले जाएगा. So x minus 12 into y minus 12 should be equals to 144, which is nothing but 16 into 9, right? So now what I'm saying is, see, the only thing I know is x and y have to be a positive integers, right? So which means I know जो right hand side है उसके total factors कितने? Total number of factors of this 144 is what? 2 to the power 4 into 3 square. इसके number of factors कितने होंगे? 4 plus 1 5 into 2 plus 1 3 5 into 3 is 15, which means there are 15 factors of this, right? अब I know जितने factors होंगे उतने ही solution होंगे. Why? Because एक मैं बता देता हूँ, others you should be able to visualize. For example, 1 into 144 is 1, right? Which means I can say here x minus 12 is equals to 1. Yes, x minus 12 can be 1. Why? X is a positive integer. So yes, x minus 12 is 1. So x is equals to 13, right? So yes, x equals to 13 actually satisfies it. Similarly, y minus 12 equals to 144, which means y is equals to 144 plus 12, 156. So yes, it also satisfies my equation. Second can be 2 into 72, right? 3 and so on and so forth till 144 into 1, right? So ऐसे करके total कितने factors हो जाएंगे? You will have a total of 15 factors. Why 15 factors? Because see, all the terms on the left hand side are actually factors of 144. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, है ना? ऐसा करके you will have it, and then you will say कि यार total 15 factors are right? And because x minus 12 can actually take any one value out of it, then you will have a value of x. that will be positive. Why? Because x is actually equals to 12 plus something, and yes, something is positive, so x will be positive. So yes, it satisfies my equation. Hence ये सारा ज्ञान मैं सिर्फ समझाने के लिए दे रहा हूँ. एग्जाम में तो डायरेक्टली ये विजुअलाइज होना चाहिए कि बिकॉज यू डोंट हैव एनी कंस्ट्रेंट on this and this, there is absolutely no constraint because x and y will be positive. अगर ये इसका एक भी फैक्टर लेगा तो so directly answer will be factor of 144, which is 15. Hence answer has to be 15. Is this clear? 15 कैसे आया? Vishal, clear? You said 30.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Clear.
Nandini?
I have taken actually negative values also. That's why.
Okay. No, x and y are positive integers, and that you will be able to visualize. See, you can't take -1 into -144. Why? Because -1 is still fine. X can be equals to 11, but y -12 can't be -144. वो नहीं हो पाएगा ये, right? Because x -12 has to be positive. Sorry, x is positive. X is positive. So x -12 has to be लीस्ट वैल्यू कितनी हो सकती है? इट हैज टू बी एटलीस्ट x का वैल्यू इज पॉजिटिव, सो इट कैन बी एटलीस्ट 1, which means 1 minus 12 is -11. It has to be greater than -11, जो कहीं मिलेगा नहीं तुमको. Hence negative values are not allowed. Nandini, is it clear? You also got a wrong answer.
Yes, sir. I corrected it.
Okay, fair. ठीक है. So now थोड़ा सा try to stay focused. This is the next question. Similar type of question, but then might end up with some tricky mistakes. So stay focused here while solving this question. So I'm not doing multiple questions of the same varieties. I'm rather focusing more on giving you multiple varieties of questions. So make sure इसको अच्छे से revise कर लो, because we don't have enough question of the same variety in the slides. Okay, every question is slightly different. Okay, Mridul, good. Chetna, okay. चलो guys, time up. Let's learn. बंद कर दो, हो गया टाइम खत्म. See, I hope this is clear. Chetna, I hope this is what you have also done. Sorry, this is 16. 16, right? 4 into 2 into 2, 16 factors. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ट्रिक है. लास्ट क्वेश्चन में क्या था? You had independent variables. You had x minus 12 into y minus 12. Absolutely no connection between these two. Hence, you could have treated them independently. Here, first bracket is a what do we say? It's an expression of a and b, and second bracket is also an expression of a and b, which means I know these two brackets cannot be independent, right? Because दोनों में a और b की same terms है, so they are dependent, which means there will be some constraint applicable here. ठीक है, तो क्या होगा? Let's see. First thing first, I have to a and b are positive. A and b are positive, so I know जो पहला वाला term है, the first term has to be always greater than the second term, right? See, when I'm saying 16 factors, it will be what? 120 into 1, 60 into 2, यहाँ से लेकर 1 into 120 and 2 into 60, right? So now I need to come and then eliminate certain cases. I know for the fact first term will always be greater than the second term, right? Which means आधे cases जो नीचे वाले cases है वो तो directly गए. Why? Because यहाँ पे first term is less than the second term. Clear? So I will say 16 by 2 equals to 8 तो हो गया पता. Which means what I've done is I've said yeah, first term has to be greater than the second term. So clearly this is how it should be. ठीक है? Either you can make the manual cases or you can just visualize because it has to be symmetric, right? मतलब symmetrical होगा. Hence I've just divided it by 2. Now second and the most important thing. If you start solving this, a plus b, equals to 120. A plus B is equals to 120, and then A minus B is equals to 1. And then if you just add them, you basically get A is equals to 121 by 2. But A is an integer. A cannot be a fraction. So from here, or what you can also say is, see, A and B are integers, right? So I know that ya to, or maybe alternatively what you can say is, this is A plus B, this is A minus B. इन दोनों को मैं sum करूंगा, I will actually get 2A, and इन दोनों को मैं subtract करूंगा तो भी I will get 2B, right? Which means sum and difference of two entities has to be even, which means दोनों या तो even हो या फिर दोनों odd हो, right? So in total I could have had 4 cases कि यार this is even, this is odd, this is even, this is even, this is odd, this is odd, and this is odd, and this is even. And I know ये वाला case will not satisfy my condition क्योंकि integer होना चाहिए, and both of them, like both A and B have to be not A and B, both, like पूरा A plus B और A minus B are my two entities, and either both of them are even or both of them should be odd, which means either 60 into 2 से मेरे को आंसर मिलेगा, or I can say into 3. This will be what? 40 into 3 से नहीं मिलेगा मुझे, and into 4, 30 into 4. ठीक है, odd into odd वाला केस नहीं हो रहा है, but then by symmetry I can say कि यार या तो दोनों even होंगे या फिर दोनों ही odd होंगे, which means final answer should again be divided by 2. Why? Because 4 में से 2 cases directly eliminate हो रहे हैं, and hence final answer has to be 4. Or what you can do is तुम यहाँ से directly भी you can just check कि both of them has to be even, which means 60 into 2, 4 आ गए, this is has to be 30 into 4, 6, and then 10, 12 into 10, and 6 into 20. These are the 4 cases, right? So हमने 2 क्वेश्चन किए स्पेशल इक्वेशन के, एक में कंस्ट्रेंट नहीं था दोनों वेरिएबल्स में, and hence I directly took the factor of जो भी right hand side में नंबर था. सेकंड में there was some constraint, so I don't have to do all of it, just I will just apply symmetry. I have 2 constraints. First event or first parameter, first expression has to be higher than the second one, and both of them has to be either even or odd. So I just did by 2 and by 2 of 16, and the answer was 4. Is this clear? Nandini, we can't generalize. It depends what all constraints are there. So like I would not say we can generalize it. Okay? I would not say that we can generalize this thing, but you can always visualize this कि what all things are important here. First, यहाँ पे जैसा order था कि first term has to be greater than the second term, and second, sum of them or difference of them has to be even. ठीक है? And there can be multiple ways to solve this question. This is just one of the ways. बाकी methods भी we can discuss on a one-to-one basis. इसके beyond. बढ़े आगे? Yes, no? Nikita? Clear? Nikita?
Yes, sir.
Okay. दिव्या clear है? Okay. ठीक है. So special के ये दोनों types ना are very important. अगर CAT में कुछ आएगा, it's most likely be from these 2 types only. One was this type and second was this type. ठीक है, वो जो पहले K वाला था, ऐसा CAT में मैंने अभी तक तो नहीं देखा है, but then again, now you know कि अगर आया तो how do you solve it? ठीक है, so I think with this, let's solve the next question. This is the next question. Time up, guys. Good, Trishika, Shantika. I think everyone who has answered. Mridul, it's a blunder. Answer is not 1. Answer is 0. Okay. Anyone who wants to volunteer who hasn't spoken so far, come on, try to speak. It will help you in the GDP as well.
Okay.
अभी से तैयारी कर लो. Yeah. Anyone?
Sir, we can assume 3 raised to x is equal to 4 raised to y is equal to 12 raised to z equal to k, and then we can just put it in the logarithm form, and we will get x is equal to log of k minus 3, y
Log of
equal to log k divided by log 3. One and same thing. Y is equal to log k by log 4.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Good. I think good. You were able to solve this in, I think, 20-30 seconds, right?
Yes, sir. 20 seconds.
Okay, good. Not bad. So I think this was one method. Another alternative method is 3 to the power x equals to 4 to the power y equals to 12 to the power z is equals to k, right? So rather than saying x is equals to k log k by log 3, what I'm doing is I'm saying 3 is equals to a k to the power 1 by x. I'm just taking 1 by x on both the sides. 4 is equals to k to the power 1 by y, and 12 is equals to k to the power 1 by z. Now I know 3 into 4 has to be equals to 12. So what I'm doing is 3 into 4. 3 is this into 4 is this is equals to 12, which is this. So k to the power 1 by x plus 1 by y should be equals to k to the power 1 by z, which means 1 by x plus 1 by y should be equals to 1 by z, hence this value has to be equals to 0. Again, just an alternative. I'm not saying this is better or that is better. As long as you're able to solve the question in 20-30 seconds, I'm good. Okay? And matlab, you can also visualize ki if you have to solve this question, answer has to be, matlab, wo most likely na, in these questions, it will be 0 only. And you will visualize this thing as you solve more questions. Again, not every time, but yeah, most of the cases. Okay?
So that's all for today. I hope you all have learned something new. So yeah, stay tuned and press the subscribe button to be notified on the next video.